Chapter 15 Clash of Titans. As Detective Jack Thompson's investigation in Warsaw continued, he found himself faced with a new adversary unlike any he had encountered before. Sean Richards, known on the streets as the Backbreaker, was a formidable villain with a reputation for ruthlessness and cunning. Word of the Backbreaker's presence in Warsaw sent shivers down the spines of even the most hardened criminals, and Jack knew that he would have to tread carefully if he hoped to bring him to justice. Armed with the knowledge that the Backbreaker was a master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Jack knew that he would have to rely on all of his training and expertise to stand a chance against his formidable opponent. With the stakes higher than ever, Jack set out to track down the Backbreaker, following a trail of clues that led him deep into the seedy underbelly of Warsaw. After days of tireless searching, Jack finally caught wind of the Backbreaker's whereabouts, a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of the city, shrouded in darkness and secrecy. As Jack approached the warehouse, he could feel the tension in the air, a palpable sense of danger that seemed to hang over the building like a dark cloud. Steeling himself for what lay ahead, Jack pushed open the door and stepped inside, his senses on high alert for any sign of trouble. But no sooner had he crossed the threshold than the Backbreaker emerged from the shadows, his imposing figure looming large in the dimly lit room. Jack tensed, readying himself for the battle that he knew was inevitable. With a silent nod of acknowledgement, the two adversaries squared off, their eyes locked in a silent challenge. Without a word, the Backbreaker launched himself at Jack, his movements fluid and precise as he unleashed a barrage of strikes and grapples. But Jack was ready, his own training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu serving him well as he countered each of the Backbreaker's moves with skill and precision. For what seemed like an eternity, the two opponents clashed, the sound of their blows echoing through the warehouse like thunder. But as the battle raged on, Jack could sense the tide beginning to turn in his favor. With each passing moment, he could feel the Backbreaker's strength waning, his resolve beginning to falter. Summoning every ounce of strength and determination he possessed, Jack launched a final, devastating blow that sent the Backbreaker crashing to the ground, defeated but not broken. As he stood over his fallen adversary, Jack felt a sense of triumph wash over him. The Backbreaker had been vanquished, and justice had been served once again. But as he turned to leave the warehouse behind, Jack knew that his work was far from over. There were still battles to be fought, villains to be brought to justice, and a city to protect. And as he ventured back out into the streets of Warsaw, Jack knew that he would face whatever challenges lay ahead with the same unwavering determination and unyielding resolve that had carried him through every trial and tribulation thus. However, as Jack made his way back to his temporary lodgings in Warsaw, a nagging sense of unease gnawed at the edges of his consciousness. The victory over the Backbreaker had been hard won, but there was still a lingering feeling of uncertainty hanging in the air. As he pondered the events of the day, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the Backbreaker than met the eye. There had been a ferocity in the villain's eyes, a determination that spoke of deeper motives and darker intentions. With a sense of urgency driving him forward, Jack resolved to delve deeper into the mystery surrounding the Backbreaker's identity and motivations. There were still too many unanswered questions, too many loose ends that needed to be tied up. Returning to the scene of the battle, Jack began to scour the warehouse for any clues that might shed light on the Backbreaker's true identity. With each step, he felt the weight of the mystery pressing down upon him, urging him onward in his quest for answers. Hours passed in a blur as Jack combed through the wreckage of the warehouse, his mind racing with possibilities and conjectures. But just as he was about to give up hope, his keen eye caught sight of something glinting in the dim light, a small, metallic object half buried beneath a pile of rubble. Kneeling down, Jack carefully extracted the object from its hiding place, his heart pounding with anticipation as he examined it more closely. It was a pendant, intricately crafted and adorned with a symbol that Jack didn't recognize, a symbol that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. With a sense of foreboding settling over him like a shroud, Jack knew that he had stumbled upon something far more sinister than he had ever imagined. The mystery of the Backbreaker was far from over, and Jack was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost.